So one thing I would like to talk about is hitting the easy button. And one of the objections that sometimes people think about, whether it's keto or low carb, like, I don't have time. I don't have time to do all that cooking. I'm cooking, I'll need to cook all the time. Or I did keto once and it was so much cooking. All I was doing was cooking. Perhaps that was true of how you did it, but it doesn't have to be that way. Okay, so there are lots of ways to make yourself not be in the kitchen. So I'm really only in the kitchen once a week. I prefer to do a cook on Sundays. Generally speaking, with isolation, sometimes it might end up on a Friday. Depends when we do groceries or whatever. We've actually been stretching longer to like a week and a half for groceries. So, it depends, right? Like, let's not worry about semantics, but I'm a super messy cook, and I have no intention of being in the kitchen every night. When I started my journey, I left the house by 6:15 in the morning, and I would get home between 6:30 at night and 10 o'clock at night. Okay, so if I had to cook every night, that wasn't going to happen. And if I had the concept that I could just order takeaway food, take out food all the time, then I would never get my goals. Yes, you can eat keto out on takeaway 100%, and I'll walk you through all that. But, we still don't know what's in the food that people are producing. So even when you think you have made the most and best intentions, there can be some hidden things in there that can kick you out. So I love to eat out. No one loves to eat out more than I love to eat out. I come from a hospitality background, and I absolutely love it. But with controlling and knowing what's in your food comes great success. With not being in the kitchen on the time comes a whole lot more freedom. So I cook once a week, and I plan out my menu. And that for me, once you get in a little bit of habit, it doesn't take that long to do. So, and I always like to advocate for some batch cooking. So that's either batching and freezing, or batching enough that you have multiple meals during the week. So one of the things that I found here, and this is a US product that comes into Australia. Okay, I'll post it in afterwards, the brand. And I get these if you're Geelong way. These are at Peaches on the Surf Coast Highway. And there's another one, a green enchilada one. Okay, so one is called the taco cooking sauce, and this one is a mild fajita sauce. And the green one is an enchilada sauce. I'm super big on slow cooking because you don't have to think about it. So when life goes back to the new normal and you have to leave the house and go to work, you can put a slow cooker on, okay? Or you can put it on at night, and in the morning it's finished or almost finished. You turn it off, and then you just put it back on when you come home for warming it back up. Getting inexpensive cuts of meat, beef, pork, chicken, lamb, if you like, anything like that. And putting these sauces are really good because they, you can read the label, and I'll post the link, but there's no nasties in them, and they're really low in carbs. So this mild fajita sauce is 1.1 grams of carbs per serving, and it's I really need my new glasses when we get out of this isolation. 0.85 grams of sugar, which is natural from the vegetables, from the tomatoes, okay? So when you're slow cooking, you can put your sauce on top, let it be. And even if you use the whole jar for large cuts of meat, we're talking like it's going to feed you 12 to 14 times kind of thing. The carbs are negligible. So the carbs in those are negligible because, yes, some of it is going to soak into the meat and flavor your meat. But when you're serving yourself up, you're not taking necessarily all that residual sauce with you either. So it's pretty negligible. And if you're on point and on game with what you're eating, eating healthy, clean keto, it's nothing to worry about and you don't need to stress about it. So they're awesome flavors. So this week I did a kilo of chicken fillets, not fillets, sorry, chicken tenderloins, because I just had them in the freezer and they were like ancient. So, and cooking them any other way would have tasted really gross. So I'll pop them frozen even into the slow cooker. I put them on low for 4 hours and I put the enchilada sauce on it, the green one. And oh my God, they were to die for. And so from that one protein source, we got at least 12 meals out of it. And we had it all different ways. So I had it on salad, big lettuce, chopped lettuce with some cheese, avocado, the chicken, and some guacamole. Zoe had tacos, really nice in an omelet. What else did we have? Into a lettuce wrap for lunch, more as a cold one the one day with some shredded cheese on it. Like, we got all different meals out of this chicken. Or just, you can have just the protein source with vegetables. You can do the same with beef, okay? You don't even have to have these products. I'm just showing you that if you can read your label and understand what's in it, and it's not additional sugars, it's sugars that are coming naturally from things like tomatoes, then you're gonna hit the easy button. Making a bolognese. So I made bolognese yesterday, and that was a kilo of mince, and it had about 4 tablespoons of tomato paste that was just pure tomatoes. And then I probably had at least, no, I didn't finish the whole container, so like a cup and a half of beef broth and salt, and that was it, and it just cooked. Okay, so that's how you can get a really low carb bolognese. And then the bolognese can be used many ways on your zucchini noodles. Last night I had it just with cheese, just the meat and the cheese. I had some of it you can pull out and make into a chili, so you can get a bolognese and you can get a chili from it. Bolognese in an omelet as well is really good. So all sorts of things. We have in the group, there's a pulled pork recipe, which is outstanding. Super inexpensive to buy a pulled pork. Put it in your slow cooker with this dry rub, and you get all different meals, right? You can again make wraps, tacos, just your main protein source with your vegetables. You can put it into eggs. You can put it into salads. Like, think about slow cooker or oven cooking. If you use those casseroles, dishes, one big piece of meat goes a long way. And also the mince. I've talked about mince before. I'm really big on cooking up some mince, any kind of mince that you want for the week, putting your flavors in it and having it in the fridge. So if you can be cooking some protein sources and keeping them in your fridge, it's less thinking. The less thinking you have to do, the more habits are already there, right? Like, when you're starting, you have change fatigue. What am I going to eat? What do I need to buy? All this stuff. If you can plan, and if you can make it so that you're not making choices every day, you're setting yourself up for more success until at least you're more confident in what you're doing. So that's hitting the easy button. And that, I think, gets rid of objections in regards to it takes too much time to cook. Because I posted, I think, it was definitely on Instagram, whether or not I put it in the group or not. Like, last week, I cooked a steak with spinach. It was done in 15 minutes, okay? Like, started my steak in the pan on high, sear it, turn it down, cook it out the way you want, and just before you're finished, throw in your spinach, which comes like, I'll buy the bag, like I don't even wash it, right? Like, just put the bag in and then finish it off, right? So you've got steak and spinach, perfect, no problem. That's enough food for me, and you're good to go, okay? So eggs and bacon at any time is quick, okay? These things are really quick, easy to have, low cost. Egg salad, great to have in your fridge, right? Like, easy things to take to work. having proteins to grab, making them in wrap sandwiches, bacon, lettuce, tomato, avocado in a wrap, which when I'm referring to that, like referring into a lettuce wrap. All these things are super easy. They're low cost, so we can get over the too much time objection. We can get over too expensive objection. So I really believe there's very few objections that we can't work around in regards to this. If you are feeling that you are worth a change, there is an answer, right? There is an answer. So, if anyone has any problems with trying to work out how to get around their objections, and it's really normal for us to have objections because our mind is, wants to keep us comfortable. It wants to, because it relates comfortable with safe. So that's ancestral. So comfortable is safe, and our critter brain always likes to bring us back to a safe place. So when you start to think about change or changing a lifestyle, it is normal for all these stories and excuses to come up. And sometimes we buy into the stories and excuses. And that is one thing I just want you to know. If you can get over your stories and excuses that you're telling yourself, the objections that you're telling yourself. And sometimes we need help to do that, right? So a coach can help you to do that, that's for sure. If you can get over that and put your priorities, the reason why you're doing it, and it should not be a superficial reason. So just a number on the scale isn't going to keep you successful, in my opinion. We need to go a bit deeper in regards to that. But if you can put these things in place, you're going to have success, okay? And all the ladies at the moment that are just on fire, they've gotten over the objections. They've gotten out of their own way. And they've sought help to give them accountability and to push them forward. Okay, so those are some really key things to help you with navigating some of the objections that come up for you. So if anyone feels you want to share what any objections or stories you tell yourself, you won't be alone. Everybody has them. It's an ongoing process, even when you're winning. But it's about having the strategies to continue to navigate your way through change. All right, so I'm gonna go. I have a coaching session now. Have a great day. I will post these products, their website. You can order them online. I have sent them an email to ask them for a stock list. I didn't see it on their website, so I'll get that stock list hopefully, and also share that with you. But hit the easy button if you need any help. Let me know. Cheers, bye, have a good weekend.